to Bangor. From the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, a man reaches a plea agreement following a shooting in downtown Bangor. Plus, 10 people have been left without a home following a terrible fire in Waterville. And Old Town students are taking part in a special project that encourages acts of kindness in the world around them. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith and thank you for joining us this morning. Let's hit the ground running and get a first check of that forecast with meteorologist Evan Biggs.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop with a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. No advisories in effect, so we're looking pretty good out there this morning. A few returns of precipitation on the map here. Most of this will be missing us. We will have the opportunity for a few sprinkles or flurries throughout the daytime period today. Nothing to get too worried about. You may notice a few flurries or a few light raindrops, and that'll be about it. Zooming things out, though, this is part of a bigger system now that's stretching kind of all the way off towards the north and tracking to the east and even stretching into parts of the southern U.S. as well, where they're dealing with showers and thunderstorms even during the early hours this morning. But futurecast for today, a mostly cloudy sky, a few sprinkles and flurries possible. That will all start to disappear later on tonight, and the clouds will also start to break up as well, at least for a short time. And the wind, thankfully, not a huge deal, mainly out of the north at about 5 miles per hour or less, remaining rather calm, at least for the next day or two. So overall, we're looking pretty good there. So your forecast for today, mid-40s, mostly cloudy, a few sprinkles and flurries possible, and the north wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, mid-20s, mostly cloudy, but breaking up later on, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period will be mostly cloudy, temperatures in the 40s, sprinkles and flurries possible. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Jordan Bishop has been sentenced after striking a plea agreement. The plea change follows a week-long trial in which the jury failed to reach a verdict after its first day of deliberations. Our Matthew Duroncic has the story.
Monday morning, Jordan Bishop pled guilty to 3 of the charges in connection to a shooting that took place outside Tesoro's Italian restaurant on May 11, 2019. He pled guilty to elevated aggravated assault, reckless conduct with a firearm, and aggravated criminal mischief. The charges of aggravated attempted murder, and aggravated assault were dismissed. Justice Murray sentenced Bishop to 18 years in prison, with all but 90 days suspended and 6 years of probation. She also ordered him to pay up to $6,000 in restitution for damages to the restaurant and the victim's medical expenses. The decision was made before the jury could reach a verdict. After more than 3 hours of deliberating on Friday, the jury sent a note to the judge saying they were deadlocked.
Given the fact that the jury was unable to come to an agreement based upon overwhelming video evidence, we were concerned about where this may end up, and we felt that we had an obligation to the citizens of Bangor, to the police department, to at least resolve this in a manner that had some justification rather than just have this defendant exonerated.
I think this is the right result given where we are with this case.
Defense attorney Don Brown hopes this case shows how challenging it can be for someone to relive past trauma on an everyday basis.
What this trial revealed was just the significance and importance of understanding people who suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. If anything, the evidence in this trial showed that it's a real issue and one that's not fully recognized, appreciated, and perhaps in some instances even believed by the general public.
In Bangor, Matthew Duroncic reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A prisoner who was convicted of hiring someone to kill her husband has died in a Maine correctional facility. 83-year-old Norma Small died at approximately 12:17 a.m. on March 26th at the Women's Center. Small began serving a 60-year sentence for murder in 2022. Back in 1983, though, her husband, 46-year-old Mervyn Sonny Groton, was shot 3 times as he approached the front door of their home in Belfast. Although Small was a suspect in the case, it took 17 years for her to be arrested. A Bangor man faces drug charges after Old Town police responded to a parking complaint. Old Town Deputy Chief Lee Miller says officers went to Howard Street at approximately 12 a.m. on Saturday. One of the officers noticed contraband in plain view inside the vehicle. 34-year-old Victor Dorr is charged with 3 separate counts of unlawful possession of scheduled drugs after officers found methamphetamine, heroin, and diazepam. Shortly after Dorr's arrest, Old Town officers then conducted a bail search at a residence on Cliff Street. Deputy Chief Miller says during the search they found 20 grams of methamphetamine and 56 grams of heroin. 37-year-old Kenneth Gallant and 37-year-old Suzanne Hulbert of Old Town were both charged with aggravated trafficking of scheduled drugs and violation of conditions of release. The City of Augusta is partnering with the fire department on what they hope will be a pilot project to get overdose survivors on the path to recovery faster. Deputy Fire Chief Stephen Leach says about a year and a half ago, the City Council recognized a significant issue with substance abuse within the city and wanted to help combat the issue. They were able to secure a federal grant for roughly $280,000 and partnered with the fire department and Kennebec Behavioral Health to have a licensed drug and alcohol counselor from Project Recovery stationed at the fire department. Leach says that the hope is that when paramedics go out in the field for a narcotics overdose, they'll give Narcan, revive the person, then at that point have a discussion with them about treatment options, including a dose of Suboxone right then and there. And a counselor will be close at hand to help step in with that.
Do they want to go into the emergency department and follow up there, or are they interested in getting into this new program where we would potentially be able to start the Suboxone right on scene before we leave and get them tied into the Project Recovery side for their follow-up care and management.
Would like to have them be at a treatment agency within 12 to 18 hours max. For me, I'd like to see 12 to 18 hours that they can, have a standing appointment at a treatment agency, so there's no loss in time that they're able to stay on that buprenorphine.
Ripley said 10 years ago, an initiative like this might not have gotten the green light, but with the scourge of the opioid epidemic, they have the full backing of the city. They're not sure exactly when the project will roll out, but they hope to start making the on-site services available in a month or so. A family of 10 is displaced after a fire destroyed their home early Monday morning. Devin Dagnall has the story.
Around 1:30 a.m., the Waterville Fire Department was dispatched to 22 School Street for a reported structure fire.
Upon arrival, they found heavy fire on the second and third floor at that time. There were some occupants home at that time, and they quickly determined that there was not a life safety issue, that everybody had made it out safely.
According to a Facebook post by Waterville Fire, a second alarm was requested to dispatch neighboring fire departments to help contain the fire to the second and third floors. Neighbors who observed the fire say it was an unfortunate spectacle.
Well, I woke up about 2 o'clock this morning to the sound of sounded like somebody was plowing my driveway. So I go to the window and say, what the heck's going on? I open the window and that house was on fire. The whole top floor was engulfed in flames. They had to go up over the house with the hook and ladder and spray down onto the fire.
According to Waterville's fire chief, Sean Essler, it should be noted the residents of the building were alerted to the fire by a working smoke detector.
It's incredibly important that, cases like this, we highlight the necessity to have good working smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, and that likely led to them being able to get out of the building today.
After the fire was put out, the house was deemed completely unlivable. At this time, the American Red Cross is working with the displaced family to provide for any immediate needs they may have. In Waterville, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports firefighters show higher rates of certain types of cancer than the general population. A state legislator has introduced a bill to reduce cancer rates among them. LD 516, an act to reduce cancer among firefighters by providing grants for safety equipment, would establish a committee to allocate grant funding to expand safety measures. Representative Scott Landry says firefighters are exposed to diesel exhaust while trucks are running inside fire stations. The funding would be used to purchase equipment like heavy-duty washers and exhaust systems to decrease health risks.
It's time to help them clean their equipment and be safe. Firefighters do a lot for us. They put their lives on the line, and they have an extraordinary rate of cancer among them.
Representative Landry says the bill is still under review in an effort to gather more data and specify funding options. The bill is expected to go before the Criminal Justice and Public Safety Committee at a later date. People will be looking ahead to the busy tourist season during a special conference that kicks off today in Bangor. Governor Mills will be among those addressing industry leaders at the Maine Governor's Conference on Tourism at the Cross Insurance Center. It will bring together tourism and hospitality professionals from around the state to talk about ways to improve the industry. In 2022, tourists spent nearly $8.6 billion in Maine while supporting more than 150,000 jobs. Governor Mills will also be present, will present awards to 4 Maine businesses for excellence in the hospitality industry. All right, in other news now, a big sigh of relief for the owners of a Bangor business who feared they might have to close. The Bangor City Council has granted the permit needed to keep G-Force Entertainment open at the Bangor Mall. The business has been a Bangor community staple for entertainment for years, but Police Chief Mark Hathaway says back on February 26th, they were called to the mall parking lot outside G-Force for reports of a shooting. The incident prompted police to confirm whether the business had all its necessary permits, including a liquor license and special amusement permit. It was found the business had no amusement permit. Chief Hathaway says they worked with the owners to develop better strategies for improved security and staff training on alcohol consumption that would be filed in conjunction with an application for the needed permit. But some in the community spoke up at the City Council meeting Monday night, saying they were worried that the business was in danger of being shut down. The council ultimately voted in favor of approving the business amusement permit.
With that, a roll call vote.
Councillor Hawes?
Yes.
Councillor Leonard?
Yes.
Councillor Schaefer?
Yes.
Councillor Trumbull?
Yes.
Councillor Yakabaga?
Yes.
Councillor Fournier?
Yes.
6 yes, 0 no.
Is based on the condition that G-Force ownership meet with the Chief of Police, Code Enforcement, and the City Solicitor within 30 to 60 days of the permit being issued to discuss whether the implementation of the business plan and improved security strategies are adequately addressing the concerns surrounding overconsumption of alcohol and disorderly behavior. All right, the time now is 8:12. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, restaurant chain Chipotle has made national news recently for their recent settlement with employees at one of their Maine locations. We'll hear from some of their employees. But first, let's take another look at that forecast. Cloudy and some sprinkles are likely in the sky today, maybe even a bit of snow. Highs in the mid-40s, though, so more likely rain. Tonight, it'll drop down about 26 degrees, mostly cloudy in the sky. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. The sun will peek through. High of 48 degrees.
This is going to be great. Taking the shawl off? Okay, I did it. Is he looking at my hairline?
Is plaque psoriasis making you rethink your everyday choices? Otezla is a pill, not a cream or injection, that can help people with plaque psoriasis achieve clearer skin. And no routine blood tests required. Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Serious allergic reactions can happen. Otezla may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Some people taking Otezla have depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Doctors have been prescribing Otezla for over 8 years. Don't hesitate. Ask your doctor about Otezla today.
No matter what type of dog you have, or cat you have, Frontline Plus lets you take them everywhere. no matter how you define it. Frontline, the #1 name in flea and tick protection.
Puzzles are easy. Family, that's a real challenge. I think we're all going in the right direction. Then they twist the opposite way. I go out on my own, and then they come around again. It happens rarely, but every once in a while we all go where we're supposed to go. And everything clicks into place.
Young Sheldon. Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
A cook-off challenge between students is heating up. The Maine Department of Educator's Maine Farm to School cook-off competition kicked off yesterday. In Augusta, students from RSU 54 and RSU 21 were facing off and creating breakfast and lunch dishes using Maine ingredients, including a challenge ingredient. The program, in its 8th year, is aimed at highlighting what Maine has to offer at schools for local food while giving students a rare opportunity to explore culinary arts.
I think it exposes kids that wouldn't have the chance to attend a culinary arts program to get exposure and experience with it, and that maybe they will choose it as a career or consider it as a career after school.
A final cook-off will be held on April 25th, when the top team from each regional competition will compete. Former blacklisted Chipotle Mexican grill workers will receive back wages in a recent $240,000 settlement. A.J. Douglas heard from employees who detailed their challenges during a 7-month-long legal battle.
On July 19, 2022, Chipotle workers were laid off following the certification of Chipotle United, a workers' union formed by Augusta branch employees. They formed the union over what they call unsafe work conditions and demanding expectations from the restaurant's corporate branch.
We weren't getting trained, we weren't getting any new employees, people were getting injured.
Members of Chipotle United have announced that after 7 months of negotiations, a settlement has been approved, which includes back pay for all 24 employees, dating back to July 19th. Employees will receive between $5,800 and $21,000, depending on their previous salary.
It wasn't necessarily about the money to begin with. We really wanted to send the message that corporations who are feeling like they have too much money to follow the laws don't.
Some former employees say they plan to reapply to work at different Chipotle locations. Another stipulation of the settlement includes signage in about 40 stores in Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts, stating a store cannot close or discriminate on basis of union establishment.
And you see notices all in every store you work at that people probably don't read, but I hope at least a few people read it, a few people hear our story, and that it at least inspires 1 or 2 people.
Union members have not announced when back pay will be released, but say they are excited about the overall outcome. In Augusta, A.J. Douglas, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A nonprofit called the Paper Crane Project is taking flight thanks to 6th graders in Old Town. Our Jody Hersey has more.
I think that you're born kind and we have to do kindness to stay kind.
All around Tracy Murkison's classroom at Leonard Middle School in Old Town, you'll find origami paper cranes.
Because we wanted to honor my best friend Lacey, who passed away from metastatic breast cancer, and she was too young. She folded paper cranes, and so we kept up the paper crane tradition, and it's just a symbol of her.
For 6 years, Mrs. Merck, as she is known, has been operating the Paper Crane Project, a nonprofit that encourages everyone to be Lacey-like and spread kindness wherever you go.
Right now, me and my friend Jake are doing a Twitch project where we're going to raise money to see people off the streets and everything and help homeless.
Paper Crane Project, I think it's cool and everything that we're doing these kindnesses for around the world and everything.
On Monday, the students in Mrs. Merck's classroom surprised the school librarian with a small gift for publishing a new book on national parks.
Yeah, it's a really amazing gift to them as well as to everyone they're touching.
Mrs. Merck says delivering a candy bar, a favorite writing utensil, or a gift card to a teacher or someone at the grocery store are all great small acts of kindness that can have a big impact.
We have a Facebook page that's Paper Crane Project, and there's a GoFundMe link on there, and we're trying to raise $410 to do 41 acts of kindness.
The students are hoping to complete those 41 acts of kindness by May 28th, which would have been Lacey's 41st birthday. In Old Town, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The time is now 8:19. After the break, it's finally feeling like spring, and with that, though, comes wildfire season. We'll hear from a local fire chief who shares how his station is preparing. We'll have this and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Here at the Eddington store, we have what you're craving. From Holton Dairy Farm products to our daily breakfast, lunch, and dinner specials. Did I mention we have fresh cut meat? From hamburg to steaks and even fresh produce, we have what you're craving. And while you're here, don't forget your ice cream at the Dairy Bar and homemade whoopie pies. Are you low on fuel? We offer gas, diesel, and propane too. The Eddington store, for more than your average convenience store. We look forward to seeing you.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Nice.
Sweet.
Go big or go home.
What'd you say?
What's up?
Right now, you could save up to $1,100 with affordable 3.99% financing on most four-wheel drive Tacoma models. And every Tacoma comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance and more.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Maine Commercial Solar offers a variety of services including solar systems design, sales, maintenance, and installation. Maine Commercial Solar can help you with existing or new systems. We offer packages for installation by others, or we can help you build your own solar array, smaller residential or anything in between. Maine Commercial Solar is currently hiring in Herman for multiple positions. We offer competitive pay, a 3% IRA match, vacation, holiday time, and a family-oriented environment. If interested, please call Jason at 848-7486.
The Great Home Show Expo will be hosting its premier home show at the Cross Insurance Center in Bangor, March 31st through April 2nd. It's a great opportunity to meet local contractors, landscapers, and specialists to get your home improvement project started. The More True team works with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Paramount Paving offers top-notch paving and seal coating services to Eastern and Central Maine. Call us for a free estimate.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Well, many of us associate spring with warmer weather, time outside, and longer days. But according to one local fire chief, the season can bring a whole new set of problems for firefighters. Fire departments across the state are getting ready for wildfire season and the challenges it brings. Warrington's Assistant Fire Chief, Chad Bean, says his department is preparing for the season with new equipment like their side-by-side UTV and portable pumps.
We're in the business of saving lives, property, and the environment. So when it comes to preparation and things like that, we certainly take all three of those things. Those are at the tippy top of our list for sure. And, you know, the more we can be prepared for any emergency, the better off we're all going to be.
Bean says residents should apply for and utilize burn permits. He adds that you should always avoid burning on red flag days. You can find more information about safe burning under the Maine Forest Service page on maine.gov. Rescue crews continue through the daunting task of digging through flattened homes in Mississippi. They continue to search for victims from a tornado outbreak that has killed at least 25 people. At least 27 tornadoes tore through 5 states, but Mississippi bore the brunt. One twister left a trail of destruction 59 miles long. That includes the town of Black Hawk. The 100-year-old community has been destroyed. The Red Cross and other organizations are now on the ground trying to help survivors with their immediate needs. They're also bracing for more severe thunderstorms on Thursday. All right, the time is now 8:23. Let's get a full look at that forecast with meteorologist Evan Biggs.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop with a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. All right, let's get things rolling out there. Wave heights are very low. This is why we have no advisories in effect along the region, so no need to show the advisory map this morning as we're looking pretty good there. And wave heights will continue to remain rather relaxed, though, as the winds remain calm on land and over water as well. A look at the radar right now, showing a few little bits of returns of a little bit of snow and raindrops showing up. Nothing too ridiculous there. Sprinkles and flurries and a mostly cloudy sky will be the general idea for us. For now, we have this area low pressure located right about here, giving some of the precipitation that you're seeing after this morning. We'll have another weak wave of energy moving through that will give us those sprinkles and flurries again throughout the afternoon period as well. But look at this front here, stretching all the way down toward the southern U.S., where they're dealing with showers and even thunderstorms even during the early hours this morning. But futurecast moving forward, mostly cloudy, a few sprinkles and flurries possible again later this afternoon. Will remain mostly cloudy for the most part later on tonight, but a few breaks in the clouds will also be noticed, especially as we head towards your Wednesday as well. So a decent amount of sunshine will be noted as we head towards your Wednesday before we watch for a little bit of snow that'll try to get going as we head towards Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. And with that system, though, we'll be watching for it developing and moving from the west going toward the east. It gets in here by about 4 o'clock in the morning and moves through rather quickly by about 7, 8, even 9 o'clock. It will start to pass through. We'll be done with the system. It could give us a couple inches of snow before we're all finished up. And then we'll have to watch for another system that gets in here as we head towards Friday night into Saturday with snow to start, then transitioning to all rain, especially as we head towards your Saturday. Temperatures, let's talk about those real quick, though. Overall, we've been near average recently, if not just slightly above average. Yesterday, we had 52 degrees, nice warm 8 degrees above normal, though, as our average high is 44 degrees. We'll reach for the middle to upper 40s the next few days, even mid-30s by Thursday, back in the 40s, maybe 50s as we head towards Friday, and especially as we head towards your Saturday. Down a little bit Sunday, but back up again as we head towards your Monday. Forecast for today, mid-40s, mostly cloudy, sprinkles and flurries possible. North wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, mid-20s on the way, mostly cloudy, maybe some breaks into clouds late with the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, upper 40s, partly cloudy, northwest wind at about 5 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. Some morning snow showers on Thursday, then some sunshine during the afternoon, highs in the mid-30s, mid-40s on Friday with a mostly cloudy sky, and rain moves in by Saturday, highs in the upper 40s to lower 50s.
Up in Smoke Fireworks is family-owned with a huge selection including Brothers and Showtime, Time Bandit, and Black Hat brands. We will share our knowledge with you, then go have a blast. Up in Smoke Fireworks, 173 West Main Street, Searsport.
Jerry's Used Cars has been a family-owned business for more than 30 years, currently in Corinna and Vesey. However, we have changed a little as we are no longer just a buy here, pay here dealership. We now have access to outside financing and also carry utility trailers. We would be happy to assist you with your next vehicle purchase. And don't forget, here at Jerry's Used Cars, we offer an extended warranty. So give us a call at either our Corinna or Vesey location.
If you're eligible for Medicare and Medicaid, a Medicare Advantage plan from Anthem Maine Health can come with all the benefits you want and zero compromises. Just go to anthemmainehealth.com/answers or call 855-753-3928 for a one-on-one Medicare plan review. Ask about our $0 monthly premium plans that include dental, vision, and hearing coverage, along with transportation, a free gym membership, and $0 copay for prescriptions, all for zero extra cost. Plus, you could be eligible for extra benefits to help you save even more. We have plans with up to $2,500 a year to help you pay for over-the-counter health items, groceries, and living expenses like cell phone, electric, or water bills, all on a single prepaid MasterCard you can use at thousands of locations nationwide. Call Anthem Maine Health at 855-753-3928 or visit anthemmainehealth.com/answers and get a Medicare Advantage plan with zero compromises for you and your wallet.
Up in Smoke Fireworks is family-owned with a huge selection including Brothers and Showtime, Time Bandit, and Black Hat brands. We will share our knowledge with you, then go have a blast. Up in Smoke Fireworks, 173 West Main Street, Searsport.
Sadness gripping the country in the wake of yet another deadly mass shooting. This time, the tragedy taking place at an elementary school in Tennessee. Fox News correspondent Jackie Ibanez reports on the latest.
Another mass shooting rocking the country. At least 6 people are dead after an alleged attacker opened fire inside the Covenant School in Nashville, Tennessee Monday. The victims at the private Christian elementary school include 3 young kids under the age of 10 and 3 adult staff members.
Crying, we saw scenes of uncertainty.
Police say the suspected shooter is a 28-year-old former student who had been actively planning the bloodshed.
There were maps drawn of the school in detail of surveillance, entry points.
The suspect was heavily armed with 2 assault-style firearms and a handgun. Law enforcement believe at least 2 weapons were legally purchased, adding the shooter entered the school by firing through the glass doors.
We would never wait to make entry and to go in and to stop a threat.
The attacker then shot at police from a 2nd-story window. Officers fired back, killing the suspect.
We know it's a mental health problem. It's not a Nashville problem. It's an American situation.
Data organized in part by the Associated Press illustrates that argument. Since 1999's tragic attack at Columbine High School, analysts say 175 people have been killed in 15 mass shootings at schools and colleges across the country. Troubled parents in Nashville say they're terrified for their kids.
I'm still telling him, son, just be aware of your surroundings. These are conversations we shouldn't be having. We're failing our children.
An investigation into a motive is ongoing. President Biden has ordered flags to be flown at half staff through Friday in honor of the victims.
The era of working from home has come to an end for millions of Americans. According to a new report by the Labor Department, more than 72% of businesses say their employees rarely worked from home last year. The report shows that roughly 21 million more employees are back in the office full-time compared to 2021. The new figure is close to the amount of businesses that reported not having remote staff before the pandemic. Businesses continue to push for more workers to return to the office in person, due in part to productivity concerns. 2 more bodies have been found at the site of a deadly factory explosion in Pennsylvania. Authorities now say 7 people are confirmed dead in an explosion at the R.M. Palmer Company in West Reading, northwest of Philadelphia. An explosion tore through the historic building Friday night. 1 person was rescued over the weekend. A chemical spill in the Delaware River has some residents in Philly scrambling for bottled water. The spill happened in Bucks County late Friday. Between 8,000 and 12,000 gallons of water-based latex finishing solution leaked into the river from the Transio Altagulas chemical factory. Officials say the chemical is non-toxic and no adverse health effects have been reported there, but they admit they can't be certain traces of the chemical won't show up in city water. So officials want residents to consider using bottled water to minimize any potential risks further. An antitrust lawsuit against Amazon is moving forward. A judge denied the company's efforts to have the lawsuit tossed out. Amazon is accused of punishing sellers for listing goods at lower prices on other platforms and artificially increasing the prices consumers pay. Amazon denies the claims. The antitrust class action lawsuit has estimated damages of up to $172 billion. Still to come here on the second half of our show, a favorite local beach spot is now under new ownership. All the details on this and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
We spend years training so you have power at the flip of a switch. If we mess up, streetlights don't work, schools close, and businesses shut down. Why would we ever put politicians in charge of all this? Pine Tree Power is a government takeover of our power grid, and it costs $13.5 billion. One way or another, Mainers are going to pay for it. It could mean higher taxes or cutting services we rely on. Pine Tree Power's government takeover is a risk us Mainers can't afford.
It would appear that the butler did it. But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event. Now that's a killer deal. Good thing this Rogue has a VC turbo engine, unlike RAV4.
Get a low $299 per month lease on Rogue.
Catch these offers while you can.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith, and today is March 28th, 2023. It's also Respect Your Cat Day. It's the day to celebrate you and your feline friend. Your kitty pal has been there when you were happy or sad. Your kitty has and always will be there for you. So this March 28th, acknowledge all the hard work your cat puts into being your loyal companion. And for the fellow cat people out there, I know you don't have to have a special day to treat them and to make them feel special. That's every day of the week. And I was having a conversation with a coworker earlier about how cats' loyalty is different than dogs, but in an interesting way. I had a cat that would greet me at the door every time I came home, but they're not going to be like dogs in the way where they might bite someone if they break into your home. So it's different. It takes a special type of person to be a cat person. On this day in history, in 1797, Nathaniel Briggs of New Hampshire received a patent for a washing machine. In 1963, the New York Titans of the American Football League announced they were changing their name to the New York Jets. In 1979, America's worst nuclear accident occurred with the partial meltdown at the 3 Mile Island plant in Pennsylvania. Of course, now we know, looking back on it, it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it was definitely a big scare that shocked a whole generation. And in 1990, Olympic track and field star Jesse Owens received the Congressional Gold Medal from President George H.W. Bush. Today's birthdays include Lady Gaga, who's 37, country singer Reba McEntire is 67, actor Vince Vaughn is 52, and this is also the birthday of Senator Edmund S. Muskie of Maine, who was born on this day in Rumford in 1914. Happy birthday to them. All right, moving on now, let's get a check-in with Devin Biggs. It looks like the skies may be spitting some sprinkles of rain here and there today. We'll check in with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. No advisories in effect, so we're looking pretty good out there this morning. A few returns of precipitation on the map here. Most of this will be missing us. We will have the opportunity for a few sprinkles or flurries throughout the daytime period today. Nothing to get too worried about. You may notice a few flurries or a few light raindrops, and that'll be about it. Zooming things out, though, this is part of a bigger system now that's stretching kind of all the way off towards the north and tracking to the east and even stretching to parts of the southern U.S. as well, where they're dealing with showers and thunderstorms even during the early hours this morning. But futurecast for today, a mostly cloudy sky, a few sprinkles and flurries possible. That will all start to disappear later on tonight, and the clouds will also start to break up as well, at least for a short time. And the wind, safely not a huge deal, mainly out of the north at about 5 miles per hour or less, remaining rather calm at least for the next day or two. So overall, looking pretty good there. So your forecast for today, mid-40s, mostly cloudy, a few sprinkles and flurries possible, and the north wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, mid-20s, mostly cloudy, but breaking up later on, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period will be mostly cloudy, temperatures in the 40s, sprinkles and flurries possible. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. Well, as the snow thaws, I know with days like today it may not seem like it, but it's definitely getting warmer. Some of us can't help but think about getting back out on the water. I know I am definitely one of them. And for years, one place was the destination. Jenkins Beach on Green Lake has been a popular spot for families to spend a day or more as they have cabins to rent. Joe Jenkins' father and grandfather first started running the beach and renting boats in 1940. In 1978, Joe took over the operations, moving into the house and continuing the public service until last year. Joe retired from teaching at the Holbrook School in Holden years ago, and now the Jenkins family has announced Joe's retirement from the beach as well, at age 80 after nearly 45 years of service. Naturally, the best person to take over would be family. Joe's daughter, Julie, has bought the beach from her dad with some plans to do some upgrades and keep the Jenkins Beach community legacy alive. According to a Facebook post, they plan to sustain a community that is accepting of all people, including LGBTQ folks. Congratulations to the Jenkins family for their exciting news. All right, still to come here this morning, Tyler Cruz will have the latest with sports, plus we'll have a couple folks from Penobscot Theater on to talk about their latest premiering play. We'll be right back.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
With AAA Insurance, by bundling our home and auto policies, we saved over $450.
And we were shocked at the savings.
When we switched to AAA auto insurance and bundled our policies, we were able to save over $400 every year.
Switch to AAA Insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
Well, my passion is hang gliding. I've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's like flying. I mean, it's like everything you always dreamed about. AAA Insurance helps us save more.
And do more.
The savings from AAA Insurance has allowed me to pursue my passion of making jewelry. It's great to have a little bit of extra cash to do something that you love.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA Insurance, call 866-460-1291 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
On the next Last Man Standing,
all anyone's talking about is this election. It's ruining Twitter.
it's a Baxter House divided.
I thought you voted Republican last time.
I just couldn't bring myself to vote for a woman who likes to shoot wolves from a helicopter.
When Mike plays politics.
Made you a list of everything you should vote for and everybody you should vote for.
You can't just tell her how to vote, Dad.
I know, she won't remember. That's why I printed it out.
Last Man Standing.
This afternoon, starting at 4 on Fox 22.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
I am devastated.
Don't miss the shocking elimination.
Oh my gosh.
All new Next Level Chef, Thursday on Fox.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Well, Monday is the start of the spring season for high school sports, also the beginning of the end of the school year. At least that's how I thought as a kid. Anyways, we are a few weeks out from games being played, but let's take a look at some significant dates to mark on those calendars for the season. Again, first official practices are held on Monday with the first regular season games on April 13th. That is a Thursday. And then skipping ahead of the regular season into June 3rd is the outdoor track and field state championship meet. New England's are the week after. On June 8th, baseball, softball, and team sports will begin their quarterfinal rounds of the playoffs, with those state championships being played Saturday, June 17th. So let's head to some spring sports now, and we will hit the lacrosse field. Over at Cameron Stadium, Bangor Boys Lacrosse is gearing up for their 2023 campaign and looking to build on a historic 2022 season. Last June, the Rams beat Oxford Hills in the quarterfinals for their first ever playoff victory, a win that came after rattling off 5 straight wins to end the regular season. This year's returners say that a lot of that success in June came from the hard work they put in starting back in March. And it's going to take every ounce of that hard work and then some to get back to that level this year.
We're going to try to duplicate everything we did last year. I mean, what we lived off last year was hard work and perseverance. So I think if we try to replicate that, even with a group of young guys, we can do anything we want this year. We just need to come out here, do our thing. A lot of people are looking down on Bangor this year, so I'm really trying to prove people wrong.
The bond that we create this season, and I think that starts early on with leadership and accountability. A lot of those major pointers like that, but you know, we can only get better as the season goes on.
The Rams have lost a few pieces from last year's semifinal run, but with such a fast-growing sport like lacrosse, they are retooled with a really skilled group of underclassmen ready to make an impact, and making sure those guys are ready when their time comes is a big focus from this year's group of leaders.
Just making sure all of them are, we can count on them to be out here and get better every day. I mean, we have to hand the reins off to them at some point, so just making sure that they're prepared to receive that.
I came into the program, we had a lot of strong seniors, and so I think it's a lot of mentoring, a lot of the young guys coming in with a lot of skill. They just need the experience, and I think once we get a few games down, a few practices down, those younger guys will build up from there.
All right, so while that ice melts outside, let's go to the ice inside. Over the weekend, another win for the Bruins, their 7th in a row. And they set a franchise record with their 27th road win, and their 57th win of the season ties this squad for most in franchise history. It was also the 50th career win for former Black Bear Jeremy Swayman. He stopped 34 shots in the shootout victory, including a perfect overtime period and a perfect shootout.
I think all of us thrive on the energy in a building like this and against such a quality team like that. So it was fun battling against Freddie Anderson. He had a great game, obviously, and those games are fun, but excited about the 2 points, but definitely moving on.
Also during the game, David Pastrnak made some history, netting his 50th goal of the season. He scored twice in the 4-3 win and joined some pretty elite company, too. He became just the 6th Bruin of all time to score 50 goals in one season, joining Phil Esposito, Cam Neely, Ken Hodge, Rick Middleton, and Johnny Busick. Also, he became the 3rd fastest Bruin with 600 career points.
It's definitely special. It's been a long way, and obviously big thanks to all my teammates and my family. So it's pretty cool, how I said, and even better to share it with the guys like I have here.
All right, definitely a special group they have there. Let's go over to the basketball court now. For the 5th time in franchise history, the Maine Celtics are headed to the postseason. The Celts will host the Cleveland Charge in round 1. That game set for Wednesday afternoon at the Expo. It'll be a 2 p.m. tip-off with the winner advancing to play top-seeded Long Island. The Celtics practicing earlier Monday at the University of Southern Maine and Hill Gymnasium in Gorham. It will mark the team's first playoff appearance since 2017. Now, the Celtics and Charge met twice during the regular season, with Maine winning both games. But in a one-and-done, the C's know it is a whole different ballgame.
This is a lot more like the March Madness NCAA tournament, right? You have one bad game, you can be done. But the other way, right, if you get hot and you shoot the ball well for 3 or 4 games, you can win a championship, right? So it's an exciting aspect, and a lot of these guys got an opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament, so it's not going to be really too new to many of these guys.
All right, more March Madness. That's just what we need. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
When you're ready to tackle your next building project, depend on the knowledge and experience of Hammond Lumber Company. Hammond's Home Planning Center will turn your ideas into accurate conceptual drawings, and 3D visualization is available. Your Hammond sales rep will prepare a materials list and cost estimate. And when you buy all of your materials from them, Hammond will refund all of your design fees. Hammond can deliver your order from any of their 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner since 1953.
At Hood, our love for New England inspired New England Creamery. We make it with premium Hood milk and cream, then we overload it with the good stuff. Like Green Mountain Mint chip with a rich fudgy swirl. Maine Sweet Blueberry with real delicious blueberries. And Cape Cod Fudge Shop, packed with fudgy truffles. Hood's New England Creamery. From Hood, for New England. Try all 13 flavors.
Does your vehicle need a little more work? Have an odd sound coming from somewhere? Bring it over to Jackson's Automotive in Old Town. We have the best technicians and offer a fair price. We also accept all aftermarket protection plans. Now, if you're unable to drive your vehicle to us, we can help you get it here. Also, if you'd like to protect your vehicle for years to come, we offer Wool Wax undercarriage protection. We're located at 546 Main Street in Old Town. Give us a call at 827-2676.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
It's beautiful. Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm here with Amy and Frank. They're from Penobscot Theater, and they're actors in their latest play, Queen. Guys, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Can you talk about what is Queen? It's not Freddie Mercury thing, first and foremost.
It is not. Queen is a beautiful play by Indian-American playwright Madhuri Shakur. She's a
New York-based playwright. She's lovely. Queen is about two scientists, one, myself, who is a beekeeper studying colony collapse disorder, and the other is a mathematician. And they are getting published in Nature, which is a huge deal as students. And it turns out some of their data might not be as accurate as they thought it was going to be. So what are the ethics of going forward with that, if it's for a good cause? The choices that we make that are good, bad, or maybe neither.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you know, is the playwright a scientist themselves? How do they know these things? This sounds like an incredible amount of research to go in just to writing this play.
I'm not aware that
I don't believe she's a scientist.
I don't believe so.
No, they just do so much research and work, and I'm sure she talked to experts and scientists and mathematicians and everyone involved in that world in order to make it as accurate as possible.
It sounds remarkably unique. And it seems like there's a lot of things that have gone into it. We were talking before. Beekeepers have come and visited you guys for this play?
Yes.
What's up with that?
President of Penobscot County Beekeepers, Dave, came and talked to us.
Showed us how they check the hives.
Cool. The tools that they use. He answered all of our questions.
Right. It's fascinating. I mean, you sort of think you know about it, but then it's like, oh, it's kind of amazing.
And is this just in order to understand your roles better?
For all of us, really, because, I mean, if you want to break down your character a little bit.
Well, my character, I play Dr. Philip Hayes, who's the professor in charge of the project.
Yep.
And he sees this as a step forward in his career, in his life, and it's a very important transition for him. And when the issues come up about the possible problem with the research,
the ethical dilemma,
right. He's the one that's pushing for finding a resolution.
Cool.
And it's interesting how there's a true evolution in the arc of his character through the course of the play.
Yeah,
as the deadline approaches.
Right.
And how he reacts and interacts with the two fellows, the researchers.
Every time I hear about actors doing their work, I think about how do you maintain a work-life balance? Because this seems like an incredible amount of work to understand the people you will be playing. What is that like for the both of you?
For me, we got cast in the show back in maybe November or December, so we've known for a while. And my favorite part when I get a role is the nerdy research phase of looking up my character is a beekeeper, so I needed to be aware of everything. So I'm now in the algorithm on Instagram for all of these stuff and doing the research and looking up the papers and really internalizing that even before you start learning the lines. So once you actually start rehearsals, you are prepped and it doesn't feel overwhelming. You have some place to go. And usually Frank and I work in the box office. I'm a box office manager.
I was about to manage it. Not only are we working together on this production, but we work together daily in the box office at Penobscot Theater.
Right.
Amy as box office manager, I'm front of house manager.
Cool.
So people come in and say, oh, when are you two going to be in a play? And we just kind of look at each other and smile and say, well, in a couple of weeks.
So that'll be fun for people to see us in a different capacity.
The recognition factor is there, but you usually do musicals, right? It's a little different.
I have. In recent history at Penobscot Theater, it's all been musicals. I have been in one non-musical. That goes way back to when the theater was located up the street at the Unitarian Vestry building that's now part of the Bar Harbor Bank.
Good.
So
I'm glad to hear you're back in this saddle then. That's exciting.
It's fun, yes. It's nice to have the challenge of this type of role, too.
Right.
I mean, not that it's not challenging to be in a musical.
Sometimes that's when your best stuff comes out, though.
It's
When
different.
you're faced with the challenge.
It's very different, yeah, it's a different approach and a different kind of preparation.
Right. This is all very exciting. Is it coming out this week? When can people see it?
We have our first performance. First preview starts this Thursday, March 30th. We run all the way through April
16th.
16th. Thank you. There are 2 shows on April 8th because we're not having any shows on Easter.
Nice.
But we go Wednesday through Sunday. It's a great show for women, men, girlfriends, sisters, moms. I think it's a great show for teens to come see. There's a little bit of swearing.
Okay.
But the subject matter is perfectly appropriate for I would say teenagers to come see as well.
Right. Just some explicit language, and that's about all that's explicit.
Yep.
And it's not all based on the science.
No. It's
a lot of it how this impacts work relationships, personal relationships, and even long range situations in how a family adapts. Or,
that seems like it hits all the important stops
it
for a
does,
good
it really
story.
Yeah, it really does.
Cool. Okay, preview on Thursday. Very exciting.
Yes, and if people need tickets, they can call the box office or they can purchase tickets on the website as well.
Perfect. And we'll post this online on foxbangor.com, and we'll have a link to Penobscot Theater's website.
That's very good.
Amy and Frank, thank you guys for coming on the show this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. We'll send it over to Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop with a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. All right, let's get things rolling out there. Wave heights are very low. This is why we have no advisories in effect along the region, so no need to show the advisory map this morning as we're looking pretty good there. And wave heights will continue to remain rather relaxed, though, as the winds remain calm on land and over water as well. A look at the radar right now, showing a few little bits of returns of a little bit of snow and raindrops showing up. Nothing too ridiculous there. Sprinkles and flurries and a mostly cloudy sky will be the general idea for us. For now, we have this area low pressure located right about here, giving some of the precipitation that you're seeing after this morning. We'll have another weak wave of energy moving through that'll give us those sprinkles and flurries again throughout the afternoon period as well. But look at this front here, stretching all the way down toward the southern U.S., where they're dealing with showers and even thunderstorms even during the early hours this morning. But futurecast moving forward, mostly cloudy, a few sprinkles and flurries possible again later this afternoon. Will remain mostly cloudy for the most part later on tonight, but a few breaks in the clouds will also be noticed, especially as we head towards your Wednesday as well. So a decent amount of sunshine will be noted as we head towards your Wednesday before we watch for a little bit of snow that'll try to get going as we head towards Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. And with that system, though, we'll be watching for it developing and moving from the west going toward the east. It gets in here by about 4 o'clock in the morning and moves through rather quickly. By about 7, 8, even 9 o'clock, it will start to pass through. We'll be done with the system. It could give us a couple inches of snow before we're all finished up. And then we'll have to watch for another system that gets in here as we head towards Friday night into Saturday with snow to start, then transitioning to all rain, especially as we head towards your Saturday. Temperatures, let's talk about those real quick, though. Overall, we've been near average recently, if not just slightly above average. Yesterday, we had 52 degrees, nice warm 8 degrees above normal, though, as our average high is 44 degrees. We'll reach for the middle to upper 40s the next few days, even mid-30s by Thursday, back in the 40s, maybe 50s as we head towards Friday, and especially as we head towards your Saturday. Down a little bit Sunday, but back up again as we head towards your Monday. Forecast for today, mid-40s, mostly cloudy, sprinkles and flurries possible. North wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tonight, mid-20s on the way, mostly cloudy, maybe some breaks into clouds late with the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, upper 40s, partly cloudy, northwest wind at about 5 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. Some morning snow showers on Thursday, then some sunshine during the afternoon, highs in the mid-30s, mid-40s on Friday with a mostly cloudy sky, and rain moves in by Saturday, highs in the upper 40s to lower 50s.
Hello, Maine. This is Steve McKay. It's a wintry mix out there, but pockets of orange are standing out against the white blanket of snow throughout the state. Next Home Experience is listing and selling homes just like yours. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience.
AC Electric Corp is seeking a skilled AC/DC electric motor technician for its Bangor Motor Shop. This position involves disassembly, testing, repairing, and reassembly of electric motors and equipment. AC Electric Corp is willing to train someone with 5 years of auto or equipment mechanic experience. AC Electric Corp offers 401k matching, paid time off, health and dental insurance, along with a great work environment. If interested in applying, please call Tina at 945-9487.
Here at Black Fly Coffee Company, quality will never be compromised. No matter what type of coffee you choose, whether it's hot, iced, or frozen, you can feel confident that our products are the highest caliber. We're here to assist you with your morning cup of joe, along with your mid-afternoon pick-me-up. And while here, grab a pastry for a snack. We always have fresh pastries available from a local business right here in the area. We look forward to meeting you soon.
No matter what type of dog you have, or cat you have, Frontline Plus lets you take them everywhere, no matter how you define it. Frontline, the #1 name in flea and tick protection.
Opposite water?
Sand. 25 words or less.
Going home with another $10,000. Thank you, Carson.
You're welcome. What's 10% of 10,000?
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22. Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
Dunkin' wants you to rise and shine with its new breakfast tacos. The breakfast tacos come with scrambled eggs, melted sharp white cheddar cheese, fire roasted corn, and lime crema.